They called his name, and the laughter began before he even reached the stage. Asterisk Senator John Neely Kennedy, next up. Asterisk the MC chuckled as he said it, half expecting the Louisiana senator to crack a joke or stumble through a country song. The crowd, mostly students and faculty at a charity talent show at Louisiana State University, roared with amusement. After all, what was a soft-spoken, bespectacled politician doing at a college talent show, especially one focused on music and dance? Asterisk, some thought it was a prank. Others assumed he'd read a poem or deliver a funny monologue. But none of them expected what happened next. Asterisk John Neely Kennedy walked onto the stage, adjusting the mic stand with calm precision. His signature Southern charm was evident, and he greeted the crowd with a gentle smile. "Y'all be kind," he said softly, gripping the microphone. "It's been a while since I sang in front of anybody." Asterisk that alone got a few chuckles. But then the music started. A slow piano intro played, familiar to many, but unexpected in this setting. Asterisk, you raise me up, so I can stand on mountains. Asterisk, the first line escaped his lips with trembling strength, and the entire room went still. Asterisk, the laughter died, replaced by stunned silence. To understand why this moment meant so much, we need to step back to a time before the talent show, before the stage lights. Before the applause, John Neely Kennedy had always been underestimated. In politics, people saw his wit, his clever one-liners, his Louisiana drawl, and they often mistook his down-to-earth nature for simplicity. Many didn't know about his Ivy League education, his deep understanding of constitutional law, or his decades of public service. And fewer still knew about his personal battles, the ones fought away from cameras and microphones. Asterisk years ago, before politics ever found him, music was his sanctuary. Asterisk as a child growing up in Zachary, Louisiana, he was shy and introspective. He often got lost in books, writing short poems in the margins of his school notebooks. His mother, a schoolteacher, played old hymns on their upright piano every Sunday afternoon. It was during those quiet hours at home that John first found his voice. Asterisk, but he never performed in public. Not once. Not in church, not in school assemblies, not even for relatives at family gatherings. Music was too personal, too sacred. It was the language he used to speak to God during times of loss, like when his best friend died in a car accident. At 17, or when his father fell ill and the family had to choose between saving their farm and paying for treatment, it was through music that he mourned, hoped, and healed, silently, away from the world. Fast forward to the present. The talent show had been organized as a fundraiser for mental health awareness among college students, a topic close to John's heart. One of the student coordinators, a political science major named Rachel, had joked with him during a campus visit. Asterisk, you should sign up for the show, Senator. Maybe sing something from your playlist? Asterisk, he smiled politely and deflected. But word spread, and his name was somehow entered into the show's lineup. At first, he considered withdrawing, but something held him back. Asterisk, he had recently received a letter handwritten from a young man named Tyler who was struggling with depression. Tyler wrote, "You once said in a speech that we're all fighting battles no one can see. That made me feel like someone understood. Thank you." Asterisk. That line echoed in his mind for days. And when he looked at the list of talent show entries, he thought of Tyler. He thought of all the young people battling invisible storms. And he made a quiet decision. Asterisk, maybe it's time, he whispered to himself. Maybe it's time I stop hiding the parts of me that hurt and start sharing the parts that heal. Back on stage, his voice deepened with emotion as he reached the chorus. Asterisk, you raise me up to more than I can be. Asterisk, a few in the audience had tears in their eyes. Rachel, the student who had dared him to sing, was standing backstage frozen in disbelief. The MC had removed his hat in quiet respect. Asterisk, the voice wasn't polished. It didn't need to be. What moved the room wasn't technical perfection. It was truth, raw, unfiltered emotion. A man usually hidden behind sound bites and Senate speeches was bearing his soul. It was beautiful. Asterisk, when the final note rang out, the room erupted into a standing ovation. But John didn't bow. He stepped back from the mic, nodded humbly, and walked off stage without a word, leaving behind an audience changed. The clip of his performance went viral within hours, not because he was famous, but because he was real. The internet buzzed not with jokes, but with admiration. A caption under the video read, "He was asked to sing as a joke," but he reminded us that everyone carries a story, and sometimes the quietest voices have the deepest songs. Asterisk messages poured in from around the country. People shared their own battles with anxiety, grief, and loneliness. One woman wrote, "I've struggled to find meaning since my husband passed. Your song reminded me that it's okay to feel, that I'm not alone." Another message came from Tyler, the young man who had sent that letter. He wrote, "Asterisk greater than I watched you sing tonight. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel invisible. Thank you for reminding me that broken people can still shine." Weeks later, the organizers of the talent show announced a surprise decision. They created a new category for soulful impact, awarding it to John Neely Kennedy for his performance. But the senator politely declined the trophy, asterisk instead. He asked that it be given to a student who had written an original song about her journey through depression, a young woman named Olivia, who had performed right before him that night and thought no one was listening. He later said during an interview, "Greater than it wasn't about winning, it was about telling the truth. If my voice, no matter how cracked or rusty, can make someone feel seen, then it was worth every shaky note." And that's the heart of this story, asterisk. Not that a politician could sing, but that a man known for his sharp words and legal brilliance chose vulnerability over ego. He showed that courage isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a soft hymn sung through trembling lips. Sometimes it's a man in a suit standing on a stage full of laughter, turning it into silence, then into hope. Asterisk John Neely Kennedy sang, not to impress, but to connect. And in doing so, he reminded us that no one is too important to be honest, and no story is too quiet to change the world. Asterisk, so the next time someone dares you to show who you really are, even if it starts as a joke, take the mic. Asterisk, you never know whose life you might change, even if that life is your own.